out here, well, I just won't work then, or I'll just go ahead and I'll take a job paying less. And so the question is always, no job, no income, no child support, right? No, not always right. Hey, here I am, Lisa Knox, owner and founder of LM Knox Law and Mediation, serving our great state of Florida, right here in Tampa Bay, through the practice of family law and all things family law. And so today I'm coming to you all. We're going to go ahead. We're going to keep that roll going with MythBusters. Let's bust some of the most profound myths, the myths that are out there, the old wives' tales, I always thought we did it this way, stories that come along with Florida family law. Now, keep in mind, every state governs their own family law. So that means that what goes in Florida may not go in New York. It may not go in South Carolina. But guess what? It goes for Florida. And I'm licensed in Florida, so that's what I'm going to talk about, Florida. Now, today we have an interesting topic. You ready for this, Lisa? And I hear this all the time, just a little bit of background. In the state of Florida, right, child support is based off of the combined income of both parents. And then there's sort of a calculation that figures out what percentage of care each parent should contribute to the child or children based on their percentage of that combined income amount, right? It's all in the statute. You can go and look at it. Here's the thing I hear often. Either, well, Lisa, the person or the parent who's trying to get out of paying child support now, they just quit their job. They don't have a job. Or I'll hear, well, I just won't work then, or I'll just go ahead and I'll take a job paying less. And so the question is always, no job, no income, no child support, right? No, not always right. It depends. So let's talk about that a little bit. Okay, let's break that down and unwrap that. Okay, so here in Florida, if you are not working, then the question is, are you unemployed and it's temporary? Like, were you working before? Right now, maybe you're in between jobs, you're going to find another job, so forth and so on. Do you have earning potential? Or were you voluntarily unemployed or voluntarily underemployed? You know what I mean when I say voluntary underemployed. That person who has like 4 master's degrees and all, but they're working at 7-Eleven part-time, getting no more than 10 hours a week. And you wonder why, and it's like, oh, well, because they're going to write the great American novel, or because they're going to go ahead and finally launch their rap career. I'm not pointing at anybody in specifics, okay? But I'm just saying. Anywho, so those are people who are considered underemployed, people who, maybe they have a lot of education, a lot of opportunity, a lot of work experience, but they're just not working for whatever reason. Okay. And then you have those people who are not voluntarily unemployed or voluntarily underemployed. They literally cannot do a full-time employment right now. And sometimes you find that with graduate students. Sometimes you find that with people who have, disabilities, who've become disabled, or who have had medical issues to keep them from working. You will find those situations. And so I guess the question, or the assumption that, hey, I don't have a job, so I don't have any income, so I won't pay child support, it really lands in an it depends, because it all matters on how or why you're not working, I will say this, though. It also matters on what your history of work was. So, for instance, if you don't have a history of work, but you do have a car that's registered in your name, and it's sort of a nice car. You do have some bank accounts that are in your name. There's a lot of heavy traffic, thousands of dollars being moved through your bank account. Well, money is going to be imputed to you. However, the statute says money cannot be imputed based on illegal activities. So You might be in a situation if you are a pharmacy rep without a license to be a pharmacy rep, if you understand what I mean. If you, if you don't have monies coming through your accounts, but your name is on an account that does have money that comes through it. Let's say you share an account with a family member, then, you're going to have to prove that the money that comes through there is not going to come to you for your benefit. If you have family members who are paying your bills, then you're going to have to prove that, that's not for a long time, a long period. It's not something you can count on and relate on, and so forth, or rely on, I'm sorry. It's not something you can count on and rely on, and so it shouldn't be counted as in-kind income. However, you can also count that, if you're in school and so forth, then maybe this is your time where you're going to be imputed minimum wage until you can have a history of earning income. And then the courts will look at what your earning potential is at that time. Keep in mind, though, that at some point the courts can and more than likely will impute income in calculating child support for child support purposes. And that could be based on minimum wage. That could be based on what a person with your education and experience level would possibly be earning. It could be based on really what the average income is in your area, in your field. So, those things do come into play. And the thought behind it is that, regardless of what goes on, the biggest priority is to make sure that your children are provided for, whether you're working, whether you're not working, whether you're in between jobs, whether you have your own business. The biggest goal is to make sure that your children are financially provided for. So you more than likely will be facing a possibility of having income imputed to you. Keep in mind too, you can't have income imputed to you that you've never earned. So, if you've never earned six figures, the court can't say, oh, well, we're going to impute six figures to you. But in the same instance, if you have a history of earning six figures and now you're making $1,250, don't be upset if the court says, yeah, I know you're making $1,250, but you have the ability to earn much, much more, and we're going to impute you at that much, much more rate. So there's give and there's take. But you may have a lot of questions. This may have opened up quite a few questions for you. And if it has, and you need some more advice, or you need to have another conversation, then you can feel free to reach out to an attorney of your choice. Or if you don't have one on the top of your head, of course, you can always reach out to us. Our number is 813-447-3001. Once again, 813-447-3001. Or you can reach out to us online, lmknoxlaw.com. That is, once again, lmknoxlaw.com. I wish you all the very best. I wish you so much success. And until we get to speak again, y'all take care, okay? Bye-bye.